Nursing school, NP school, actually really any school, you're gonna take a ton of notes. Something that I found in my very last semester of NP school was taking notes on your iPad, which was seriously like a blessing sent down from the studying gods, because holy cow, it makes studying and taking notes so much easier. So in today's video, I'm gonna show you how to take nursing school notes, NP school notes, really honestly, whatever kind of school you're in, notes using your iPad with an iPad pencil. You can use whatever stylus you have. I just happen to have the iPad pencil, or the Apple Pencil. Is that the name for it? Probably. I'll be using the app Notability, and I'll kind of just walk you through how I take notes on a PowerPoint, how I freehand notes, and a couple different features that I really like about taking notes with a tablet. Just in case people ask, I have an iPad, a 10.5 inch one. I think it's an iPad Pro, and then I use the Apple Pencil, which I've really liked so far. I know a lot of people have other styluses, and whatever one you have, as long as it writes on it, perfect. Hello guys, it's Liz. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, I'm a pediatric nurse. I just graduated from FNP school and I kind of make videos about those things. So if you're into that, make sure to subscribe below. Now let's take a look at how I take these notes. All right, so the very first thing we're gonna look at is how to take notes using your tablet with a PowerPoint. So I'm gonna go on my computer and download the PDF of the PowerPoint. And I'm going to save it to my desktop in a folder that is shared on iCloud. So I have iCloud, which syncs to my iPad and my computer, which makes it really easy. If you don't, you could always email yourself the PDF and then open that PDF on your iPad. Really, the important takeaway here is turn it into a PDF. You can do that from PowerPoint. You can do that downloadable from your D2L or whatever school website you have. But just make sure that it's a PowerPoint so you can import it into the note-taking app and write over it. It can be in color, black and white, whatever you want. I usually do black and white because then my colors show up better on top of it. All right, so now let's go over to your iPad and go to the Files button. That's going to open to your documents, and click on the section and PDF that you want. So we'll do Family Planning Q&A for ours today. Click on it and open it up. Now once this is open, look it over, make sure it's what you want, and in the very top right-hand corner, there's going to be an upload button, which is like a box with an up arrow going through it. Click on that little guy, and that's going to give you options for where do you want to send this document. So go down to where you see all the colorful icons, scroll over, and select the app you're sending it to. So in our case, that's Notability, and Notability will open right up and ask you if you want to create a new note, and you will say yes. And then you will import all. See how they're all highlighted in blue? We'll click import and it'll send it all over. And it opens right up in your Notability app. And you'll see up at the top here, there's the toolbar. That's how you're gonna mark your document up, and you are all set and ready to take some notes. So in the Notability app, I'm sure with GoodNotes too, on the left-hand side when you go to the main page, you have all your different subjects, and that will keep your notes together, or you can do it under like a big divider tab, like you see AANP here, and that's what I have all of my NP study resources under. Let's take a look, and I will show you how to get the paper grid if you're not doing a PDF. So these are my antibiotic notes for my NP binder. I'll put a link up to these videos up here. This paper in the right-hand corner, if you hit the wrench and go to paper, and then click on the type of paper you want, like lined paper, grid paper. That's how you choose a paper if you want lines. So I really like that for freehand studying. I use the one with the smallest lines. Okay, so now let's take a look at the top toolbar. We'll go over these real quick. This is the pencil. You can pick all these different colors and all these sizes. I use the absolutely smallest pencil size for writing. The next one is the highlighters. Again, all the different colors and all the sizes. I use the bottom left one for highlighting in PowerPoints. And then there's the eraser. And then next to that is the cut and paste tool, so you can highlight something and then make the whole thing you highlighted bigger, smaller. You can move it or you can delete it, which is a cool feature. So I'll show you here how I use kind of my color. It's the same thing on how I take my notes. So if you watch my video on how I take notes, blue is the main headings, pink is the next main topic, and then orange kind of highlights the main subtopic, if that makes sense, and yellow is key terms. So here, I'll show you I have like my pink main topic, and then you can circle like and write on top of it. This was a question, so I highlighted the important part of the question in orange and then circled the answer. You can write on top of the PowerPoints. Here I'm showing you how you can write straight lines. So if you hold your pencil down and then draw the line and then hold it down again, it makes a straight line, which is super duper helpful for making charts or anything where you're going to need a straight line. And I always find it's easier to zoom in by just doing the pinch in, hold, and then like widen your fingers apart. When you're writing, I like to have a really close-up view, and then you can make it smaller and your handwriting looks really neat. So again, when I'm writing my notes, you see I have it really zoomed in, and then I will zoom it out and your handwriting automatically looks a lot better. So one of the things I really, really like about using the Apple Pencil and the iPad for taking notes is you can add so much color. You'll see me adding a lot of color throughout my notes. I use different colored pens. I kind of coordinate them. So if I highlighted a key term in yellow, maybe I'll underline part of the sentence in yellow just to kind of correlate it together. Or if I was talking about lab values, I'll write a note in green or something, or blue, because blue is my color for lab values. And it lets you be very versatile with, if you write something and then she says something else important a minute later and you're like, ooh, I wish that wasn't there. You can just highlight it, move it, or erase it, and that makes it really helpful. Okay, next I want to look at if you're freehanding a note. So you would go in, hit the wrench, select your paper type, and now you are freehanding your note. So remember how I said writing on a smaller zoomed in surface is way easier? On the bottom right hand corner, you're going to hit these 3 little lines, and that brings up a magnified area and that you will write on using the bottom part of the screen. So the top shows you kind of the area you're looking at, and the bottom shows you where you're actually going to write. And this just helps you to be able to write obviously between those really little lines, and it'll look nice when you close out of it, but you don't have to worry about writing in these tiny little lines. You can kind of write on a bigger space, which makes your handwriting look a lot neater. And if you're drawing something, you can get a lot more detail. I found it to be just super duper helpful for writing, keeping things neat and adding detail to your notes. And you can edit the color, change your style, erase, do all of that in that same bottom screen, just like you can up top. And when you're ready to exit out, those 3 little lines kind of in the middle of the page on the right, that is going to exit out for you. And let's look at the cut and paste feature. So say you want to take these hellos, you can highlight them with that scissors. You just click and you surround it with a box, and then you can use your fingers to manipulate the box, change the shape, change the size, make it taller, make it wider. Now if you just want to manipulate hello, just do that one. Obviously you can make it bigger, you can rotate it, you can do all sorts of stuff to it, or you can highlight it and delete it. This is really helpful for making pretty headers. And the last thing I want to talk about is maybe my favorite feature, and that's bringing images and tables in from other media such as the internet, or if you have a textbook that is on your iPad. So we're going to go and find a picture of psoriasis to add to our derm notes. So you close out, you go to your browser, and you type royalty-free psoriatic lesion, whatever you want a picture of. And that'll be royalty-free, just lets you take it and use it without having to worry about someone coming at you and being like, hey, you took a picture of my knee and now it's on the internet and I'm mad at you. So just do royalty free. There's tons of options, and do an image search and you can pick any of those. And just a side note, a warning, I suppose, you can find all sorts of images when you do this. So since this is medical kind of images, you might find pictures of things that make maybe you uncomfortable. So just kind of go into it knowing that. So you can now browse. I like this picture. I think this shows a really good psoriasis plaque, so I'm going to pick that one, and I want that to be in my notes. So if you swipe up from the bottom, we're going to enter dual screen. So swipe up, click on Notability, and drag it to the right hand or left, but I like the right hand side of my screen. Hold it there until you get this dual view. Now you're looking at both screens at the same time. Go, click and hold on the image, drag it over to your Notability, and literally it is that simple. When you're in Notability, I usually just close out on the left-hand side of the screen because I like lots of room to work in my notes. Make sure the T is selected. That way you have the ability to manipulate and move your image. Select the T, click on the picture. You can resize it, you can edit it, but I'm just here showing you how I'm going to resize it. I want it to be little. I just want the brief picture of it, and it is really that simple. And I absolutely love this feature. You can go back over, you can write on top of the image once it's placed in case you wanted to add notes on top of it, if you wanted to circle a particular area on the image. If you're importing a table from your textbook, you would do the exact same thing, except you would open your textbook on the left-hand side using ibooks or whatever you have, Kindle, and then you would click and drag the table, select it, drag it over as an image, and you can put it directly in your note, which is a huge time saver, guys. I am so jealous of everybody who gets to do that with these apps. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up how I use my iPad to take notes. If you guys want some examples, I'll link a video up here of some notes I've taken on my NP binder. They're basically just reference sheets for nurse practitioners to use in their practice. And that kind of shows you how I really use my iPad to write freehand notes in case you're interested. Like I said earlier, I post 2 to 3 videos a week. One is a weekly vlog updating my progress from being nurse practitioner student and hopefully into a career if someone hires me. And the other one is the nursing related video. And sometimes I throw an extra one in there because why not? So if you're into that, make sure to subscribe below. I'd love to have you on my adventure, and hit the little bell so you get notified of new videos. As always, if you guys have any questions about the video today or any nursing or NP content in general, make sure to leave that down in the comments. My question of the day is, if you take notes on your iPad, do you use Notability or GoodNotes? I feel like those are the 2 big ones I see the most. I kind of randomly happened to choose Notability because I think it had more reviews on the App Store. So let me know down below which one you use and why you like it. All right, guys, have a great week, and I will see you later on. Bye.